Well,
Hello, everyone.
just me, methinks, for now.
Long time no see.
Long time. Oh, well, how have you been? Oh,
Doing good, doing good. So give me 1 second because I wanted to invite one more person
no
from the
worries.
call.
Okay.
Anything specific you will want to go over?
Not really. Maybe like discovery questions. Or just something good to go over.
Hello, Pocahontas.
Hi.
Hello, hello.
That's a fancy. Is that a chef outfit or is it a jacket?
No, I had to walk with the front today too. I had to do both sides, so I needed to look alright for the people instead of in my work clothes.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So, anything specific you will want to go over with? Because Jack basically said no. He probably just wants to do like discovery part of the sales call. If you have anything specific.
No, not that I can think about it at the
Okay, all
moment.
right. Then let's just deal with discovery part of the sales call. I like the fact that we are both smoking. Jack is currently stopping.
That's fine.
Good
Enjoy.
job. Keep it like that. It's way too expensive.
Yeah, it's so much better for you, Jack.
No, I had to. I couldn't breathe. It was actually affecting my lungs. I just stopped.
Oh, okay, no, then it's actually better for you.
Yeah, yeah, 100%.
Okay, fair enough. So, first of all, what do you guys know? Why is it so important to have a discovery part of the sales call done properly?
So you can qualify the client to make sure that they're able to actually pay.
That's one thing. What else? No, like what do you mean specifically when you say qualified or like qualifying them?
That would be a good fit.
And
Sure.
That they are not a risk.
yeah, okay. And how long does it's supposed to take for a proper discovery call or for a proper part of the discovery call to take place, like minute-wise?
15 minutes.
Correct. Now, what what do you actually need to discover in the discovery part?
Basically, how much they're earning. And if they're intellectual buyer or a pain buyer, is that the one?
Emotional.
Emotional buyer, pain buyer.
Yes, that's one thing. That is basically one of the most important things because then you will handle those people differently. Yeah. What
Mm.
else? You can also tell information-wise if you remember any specific information that you will need, for example, let's say an ROI breakdown.
Okay.
Give me an example if you can remember. If not, I can tell you.
Can't think of an example.
Okay. So you definitely need to discover if they are intellectual and emotional buyers. That's one thing. In case they are emotional buyers, you really need to discover what the pain points are. Very often you will be able to discover them because of how they're going to react towards speaking about this topic. Very often you will see in their face or even in their tonality, you can hear that they are, for example, ashamed of circumstances that they are in. There is one specific example. Maybe I can show it to you guys. If I find the link, I don't think I have it. No, fuck. I closed it. There was a situation where Alex, we were reviewing his sales call yesterday, and the person he was speaking with was genuinely ashamed when he said, like Alex asked him, about his circumstances to figure out how much is he currently making, stuff like that, and where he wants to go. The guy genuinely you could have feel it in the call that he has felt ashamed when he said, "Oh, I want to double on my income." Then Alex just simply asked, "What do you mean double on your income? Like, what is it currently?" "Oh, I will want to do the financial advising on full time, but I'm currently still while doing this, I pay all my bills, I pay for all my 4 kids, for all the food, for all the expenses with my 9 to 5." In this case, beautiful window of opportunity to go deeper into it, to figure out, first of all, what's most important for him, but then to also just simply understand him as a human being, like how important is it for him to actually make it work. Alex has not dived deeper into it, but throughout the call, the guy has brought it up 2 or 3 times where it should be a clear sign for you. Okay, I think I should go deeper into it, especially when he said, if I'm being honest, I don't think I have budget for what is that you're doing, even though you have not showed it to me, due to the fact that I'm currently one unexpected expense away from taking mortgage on my house. And in this case, you guys need to understand, in case you are being emotional and you think that negative report may not help this person, because negative report is going deeper into their emotions and just making them uncomfortable and vulnerable at the same time. But then you need to understand, especially with people like this, yes, his circumstances, he wants to make it work. He needs to, technically speaking, make it work because he has a wife and 4 kids. And he's one unexpected expense away from remortgaging his house.
So he's
So at the
desperate.
same time, being logically speaking, purely logically speaking, yes, either he's just gonna keep on going with what he's doing, and there is still the window of opportunity for him that the situation will come where, let's say, his engine is gonna fuck up in the car. He's gonna need to remortgage his house in order to pay for that. Or he can remortgage his house in case he actually doesn't have the finances to work with you, in order to work with you, to have the potential to actually get an ROI and scale up his business. You need to look at
But
it from the logical perspective.
would that kind of client not be more like worse to get if they're one payment away from the house? That means they might not be able to pay for an agency or.
Yes and no, because at the same time he said that he's one expense away from remortgaging his house to, like, if he's gonna be forced to pay something.
Oh,
So
so
he's
he will
willing
still be able
to.
to. Yeah.
Yes, because then it means that he has the credit line.
Okay.
And as odd as it sounds, in this case, you cannot be emotional. You need to look at it from the logical perspective, because yes, it sounds kind of retarded when you look at it from the emotional perspective. Oh, someone will take a credit line in order to work with me. But at the same time, you need to look at the circumstances and you need to understand, wait, generally speaking, from the logical point of view, that will be the right way to go. Because otherwise, let's say his engine is gonna fuck up tomorrow, he's not gonna be able to get to work, and he's gonna need to remortgage the house anyways. So that's one thing. Besides that, it's super important for you guys to just simply understand what is it that they are currently doing in terms of, like, for example, how are they acquiring new clients? Then obviously, in case you're, I think if I'm not mistaken, you're both in real estate. So it will be, what is the average listing price? How many how many deals have they closed, for example, in last year? How many this year? What is the goal for this year? Then obviously, what is the average just take home on those deals? Because that is also, like, these are all the crucial information that you will also need, obviously, to handle any objections. But at the same time, these are the crucial information that will allow you to, for example, utilize the ROI breakdown, where you're gonna give the prospect you're speaking with the opportunity to change his perspective from short-term spending money with you to long-term what can happen over a period of 12 months. Where especially in real estate, where it's not unrealistic that people make 5 to 25,000 with one deal. So let's say even if you will charge you, even if you will price yourself at, let's say 3,500, and let's say 850 retainer after 2 or 3 months. If we don't calculate ad spend, because ad spend, like, on the basis that, let's say, they're gonna have more capacity that can be bumped up, and then they can deal with more people. But logically speaking, you will allow them to have the opportunity to just close, for example, one deal over a period of 12 months, and they will already have the ROI on working with you. Which, generally speaking, if you're gonna bring one deal to a realtor, either he's retarded because he's not able to close, or you're retarded because there is no chance that you're not gonna bring him one close over a period of 12 months. Does that make sense?
Mhm. So they'll make their money back with you. That's what you want to. You just try and get that message across to them.
Yes, because that's why in the sales presentation you also have that basically one of the 3 pillars that your company is based on is the 3x ROI, because that's not a lie. That's why you also walk them through the ROI breakdown, and that's why you also don't need to make any stupid guarantees, because this is pure mathematics that you're then able to showcase to make them understand that.
Okay.
And then in case they are emotional buyers, obviously you need to then utilize the leverage of their pain points in order to actually convince them, because very often if someone is truly an emotional buyer, they will not see it from the logical perspective, even if it makes sense. Jack is a good example. Yeah. So guys, let's do a small role play on the discovery part. Who wants to start, or do you want to play with each other? That's
I could start. I could do the questions.
I do the questions by hand. But my phone is no.
Nick, I just realized how fancy you are. You have a Moncler jacket. Very British.
No, it's fake. It's made in Turkey.
Okay.
I don't have that much money. I don't earn that much in the kitchen. I wish.
Jack, feel free to start. I don't know what you're doing right now.
I was looking for a book to write answers down. All the answers. Okay, so what kind of real estate do you specialize in?
Mostly villas.
Mostly what, sorry?
Villas between 1 million and 5.
No, I was more meaning like residential, commercial, luxury, that kind of thing.
You asked an open fucking question, so you have received a retarded answer. It's not like that she
Okay.
gave you a retarded answer, you ask a retarded question. If you want to ask what kind of real estate do you deal with, real estate, like residential or commercial, ask that.
Okay.
Because the way you asked it indicated more as villas, apartments, buildings, complexes.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. Okay. How long have you been in real estate?
I think for 2 years now.
Okay. And what is the biggest challenge you find when closing deals?
Mm, not sure, just finding the perfect fit for them.
Okay. And are you a solo operation or do you work as a team?
Solo.
Okay. What's the current commission structure you work with?
Okay, stop here for a second. Jack, this is also a perfect moment where you can showcase that you have some kind of niche knowledge. So instead of asking a question you just asked, you can say, let's say Pocahontas will be in Nevada, let's say. So you can literally say, look, we have a couple of realtors we are working in Nevada with. I know that their take home ever on average is somewhere in between from 5 to 8%. How does it look like on your end?
Okay. Just trying to throw the
Because
numbers across.
the way it comes across is different. And also at this point, when you formulate it like this, it's more of a conversation, not a checklist, which is one of the laws that Ismael is also teaching you guys. Do you know what a convo versus checklist is?
No.
Checklist is what you're currently doing in the discovery phase. Pocahontas, would you say that he has a conversation with you where he's figuring out all the answers on the way, or is he just asking you a question after a question after a question, like on an interview?
He's just doing a checklist at the moment. By the way, I have 2% on my phone and it's gonna die.
Do you have a power bank?
Nope, I'm still at work. I still have to ride 45 minutes at least home before I can put it on the charger.
Fair enough. Then just you can just leave, just pack your stuff, and then
Save your
just
battery. Save your battery.
No, it will die anyway, so at least I used it wisely.
fair enough.
What checklist like so if there was a checklist, what kind of answer should I be trying to like
No, no,
get?
no. You're currently doing a checklist. What you want to have is a conversation.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like you need to sound more interested in the person you are
It's
talking
not
about
it's not even
instead of just
interested.
you need to know.
Yeah, like it's not necessarily even interested. Like sure, you can utilize your
Fuck!
personality.
Oh, yeah. Dang it. The phone stood.
You can utilize your tonality, but at the same time, the most important thing will be that you simply speak with them and then ask the questions in the conversation. Because what you've currently been doing is, so what kind of houses do you work with? How long have you
Okay.
been doing this for?
Yeah.
What is your take home on that?
So what kind of small talk would you start it with then maybe?
It's not even about small talk. It's just literally. So tell me, Jack, what kind of houses do you actually work with? Are you specialized on commercial or residential?
Mainly with commercial.
Okay, cool. And when it comes to the types of listings you're dealing with, is it more apartments? Is it villas? Is it, complexes? Is it whole buildings?
That'd be whole buildings. Whole buildings.
Okay, whole buildings, cool. And how long have you been doing this for?
Oh, about 5 years.
5 years? Okay. So I know that you're currently in Nevada, that you're operating in Nevada. I worked with a couple of realtors in Nevada as well, so I'm familiar with the fact that their average take home on just sold listings is somewhere in between 5 to 8%. What percentage are you dealing with?
Yeah, about 6%.
Do you see a difference?
Yeah, it just seems more natural.
Yes, because the last thing you want to have is an interview with someone. While interview is not fully bad, you sound like you're completely unprofessional, like you have never done this before. You just have a piece of paper in front of you and like, so what houses do you deal with? Okay. How long have you been doing this for? Okay. How much money do you make? Sorry, what's the percentage when you close a deal? Okay.
Okay, okay.
How many have you closed last year? Okay. Like, yes, you can ask those questions, but then at the same time, when you have a conversation, when you ask, for example, so how many closes were you able to make last year?
Mm. 4.
Uh, Four. Okay. Oh, fuck me. You gave me the most fucking retarded.
100 closed last year.
100 closes. Okay. So am I correct in saying that per month you have closed roughly 8 people? Well, technically speaking, 8.3, but it's not like we can cut someone in three.
Yeah, that's roughly correct. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So how many leads did it took you to close 100 deals?
Oh, maybe every every 10 leads, I'd close 2 of them.
Two of them?
Yep.
Also, your closing rate is at roughly 20%.
Yes, that would be my close rate.
Okay, cool. I got you. I got you. So, but then, so last year it was 100 and your closing rate is at 20%. Cool. So you have dealt with, I'm being retarded right now. Yeah, okay. Okay, so closing is at 20%. You dealt with 100 people so you have closed last 100 people last year. How does it look like for this year? What's the goal?
Oh, we'd like to at least get 50% more leads closed.
Okay, so your goal for this year is to close 150 deals.
150, that would be great.
Okay, and how is this year looking so far? How many have you closed thus far?
Close 20, so it's the same as last year.
Same as last year.
Oh wait, we're in March now. So I've closed 30, so the same as last year.
We're at the beginning of the March.
28.
You're terrible at roleplay. Do you know that?
Yeah, no, I am. I'm very bad. I'll get in bed. I'll get better. I'll get better.
Okay, and okay, fair enough. So, would you say that you're on a track right now towards your goal?
Not I'm not where I want to be.
Okay, fair enough. But then, so you have dealt with 1,000 people last year in order to close your deals. So, can you tell me what was the source of your leads coming in? Like, what have you utilized, or what is it that you are still utilizing in order to acquire new customers, new buyers, new sellers?
I'm mainly just using word of mouth. I did a little bit of Google ads, but wasn't really having any success.
Okay, cool. But then, is there anything that you're currently actively doing? Because, like, I think we both agree when I say, if you say, "Hey, I rely mainly on sphere of influence," it's not really something you have influence above.
No, yes, that's something I'm definitely lacking in. Just only word of
Okay.
mouth. Not very tech savvy.
Okay, so you have also mentioned that you've been doing something with Google Ads. Have you been doing this by yourself? Have you hired someone? How does it look like?
I was doing it mainly by myself.
Okay,
A few
and
YouTube videos.
you said it didn't work very well. What do you mean by that?
I just didn't seem to be getting any traction.
Okay, may I ask how much you have spent for it?
Only about it was like 200 a month.
200 a
And
month?
and from that, how many leads did you get?
It was about 10 a month. Oh no, from the Google, I only got maybe 2 leads, which wasn't worth the money I was putting in.
Okay, and did you end up speaking with them or no?
I spoke with them, but
And what happened?
they just didn't seem very interested in the properties I had, so they weren't very qualified.
So were you able to meet them or no?
Yeah, we were able to meet them.
Okay, cool. And do you know if they ended up moving forward and buying a house?
They didn't move forward with me.
But did they move forward to someone else?
I'm not sure.
Okay, cool. This it's good to check up. We can get that checked. Okay, but now since you've mentioned that you rely heavily on sphere of influence and you want to increase by 50%, what have you actually done to make that adjustment? Like that which is tangible.
Um, I've I've mainly just posted a few things on Facebook. Um, I was trying to make a website, but again, I don't understand tech, so I'm still currently building it.
So what makes you believe that anything's going to change from this year and last year if you haven't changed anything?
Nothing. You're right.
What do you mean I'm right?
If I'm not doing anything else extra, I'm not going to get any more clients.
So
But
why
I'm
aren't
not
you
sure
doing
what to
it?
do.
But why aren't you testing stuff? Like why aren't you doing stuff?
I just wasn't sure where to go.
But we're in March. What have you tried since March? Since January to March?
Um, Nothing very new. Literally just the same as I did last year. That's why I was so interested when I got told about this.
But, but you see, that worries me a little bit. Can you see why that worries me?
No.
As in, we're working with hundreds of agents, and what we want is someone who is blood hungry and doesn't really know what exactly to do. It just worries me that you haven't done much. Like I understand that you don't know what to do, and look, I'm not a perfect when it comes to real estate. I'm just very good at marketing for real estate, right? But then from your side, you ambition is great, but what's behind it? Like you haven't done anything.
No. I just want to increase my revenue. I can just see other real estate agents seeming to climb, get more leads every year, get better, and I seem to be stuck doing the same thing.
But it's because you're doing the same thing. But then
Never
I
said I
ask,
did.
why are you still doing the same thing? Like, why haven't you done anything more?
I don't know.
Do you see why I'm a bit confused?
Yes.
Can you help me out here?
What would you recommend I do?
What I've done there is I'm building the frame
Yeah.
of where I am, what my expectations are from a person, and where the fuck you are.
Mm.
Right?
Makes
So
me feel bad.
yeah, but the more you do that, the greater the separation between the two
Okay.
of who you are, who you deal with, and who the fuck they are. And they need a big reality check on what the fuck they're doing and not doing.
Okay.
Right? One thing that you need to know about real estate agents, these fuckers lie a lot. So you're gonna have to catch them out and call them out. When you call them out, they will appreciate you. And you just have to double down, double down, double down. Sorry, Ernest,
Okay.
feel free to take over.
You're muted.
I said that's fine. I need to go. I was just waiting. There was Nika here as well. Her phone died. They just simply wanted to go over Discovery.
She's smoking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good idea. Okay. Jack, see you tomorrow.
You have a good one.
So do you have your discovery questions for real estate?
Yes, but I made them with ChatGPT.
I'm 95% sure we give you the discovery questions for fucking real estate. My man's making his own.
Second, I'll check my Google Doc. I just wanted some more dynamic ones because I was trying to like filter them and make them a bit more conversational.
You hurt me. Yeah, honestly, sometimes you do hurt me.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Discovery.
So I'm gonna send you a PDF of you give me your questions and then I'll show you mine.
Sure. Yeah, I don't think there were discovery questions on the onboarding thing I had. Just a niche
Well,
script. Is that the niche script?
no,
Yeah,
it's
no.
literally like I've opened it up, I can see it.
Under what part?
Discovery. But don't worry, I'm gonna send you yours. I'm gonna send you yours.
Screenshot it.
So do you have yours ready?
I was just showing you there. So that's the onboarding thing I have. Yeah, I shall do.
What the fuck? No, fuck that. Fuck that.
Well,
Look
I
at the
thought.
one.
Which?
Look at the one I've given you on your phone. WhatsApp.
Okay. Today. Okay. Yeah, they are a bit better. Way better than the fucking ChatGPT one.
So run me through the questions to see how you ask them.
Okay. What brought you on our call today?
Very good.
Which lead generation sources have you utilized in the past?
Okay, nice.
Approximately how many leads, both cold calling and hot, do you engage monthly?
Did you say both cold calling and hot?
Both cold and hot. Yeah, I
Okay.
did. Sorry,
Next.
dyslexia adds words into my language. Um, what is your close rate with each lead generation method you've tried?
Very good. Next.
Which source has been the most effective in closing deals for you?
Very good. Next.
How do you convert mildly interested prospects into paying customers?
Feel free to not skip number 6.
What do you believe is the main obstacle preventing you from reaching your next level?
Very good. Next.
What is the average listing price?
Don't fucking skip number 7 because that's after number 6.
How do you convert mildly interested prospects into paying customers?
Good.
What is your average listing price?
Good.
How many deals do you close? So, how many deals have you closed so far this year?
Good.
What is the average profit margin per closed deal?
Good.
How many customers return for a second transaction?
Good.
Out of every 10 customers, how many refer new business after the closed deal?
Good.
Um, what what are your targets for the next 12 months?
Good. Now, ignore A and then the final one.
What are the primary factors which prevent you from reaching your targets aside from the market conditions?
No, that might, because we've just asked them about their targets. What could result in us not hitting targets? Now, you see that which is orange
Yeah.
over here, we need to drop niche knowledge. Yes. So niche knowledge
Okay.
is your understanding of the market. Let's say we're in Texas, Florida. No, what the
Mm,
fuck am I talking about? Texas anyway. Let's say we're in fucking Texas, Houston, Texas. Right?
mhm.
Let's say we're going to question number 8. So right now the price points in Texas, Florida, well, we're looking at 100,000, which is an increase of 30% over the last year, which is actually very good for the market. It's now become a buyer's market. But I'm curious, when it comes to the transactions that you deal with, what's the average listing price? So what
Okay.
I've done is given them a lot of knowledge that I've quickly got off Google just before the fucking call and took it down on my notes.
Hmm.
Right? Now, next
Okay.
thing, how many deals have you closed so far this year? Look, in the past, last year, we saw X amount of homes being sold. We had about this many coming onto the market. You can get this information online. Right? So we've
Okay.
had 400 homes closed in the last year and an extra 1,000 properties coming on the market. So 400 agents, not agents, but 400 transactions happened. How many of those transactions were you?
Okay.
Right?
Yeah. Okay.
Wherever you can, drop niche knowledge. Yes. So
Sure.
next one. How many of your customers return for a second home? Look, we see that in Houston, about 13% of the population owns more than one home. So with that being said, how many of your customers have returned for a second transaction in the past?
Hmm.
Right. And then another thing that you're able to do is you're able to talk about your other clients. So you
Okay.
can bring up the market, but say, look, this is a very high level of doing it. So let's just go Houston, Texas. Okay, let's go real estate. Now, this would be you operating at a high level. So then, will Redfin give me what I want? No. Boom. Right. So, oh no, please, 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 please. Ah, look at this. Look at this. Right. All right. Allow. Here we go. Now, can you see my screen?
Yep.
So I'm looking at this question here, right? How many deals have you closed in so far this year,
Hmm.
right? Or even which lead generation sources have you mentioned in the past? We can then tell them how. With our clients in Houston, we're seeing quite a few people moving in from St. Louisiana, Washington, D.C., and New York. And they'll be familiar with this. They'll know this,
Hmm.
right? And then
What
they'll be,
website's this? Sorry.
huh?
What website is this? Is this?
No, you can get it off loads of websites. I don't particularly like this
Oh,
website,
okay.
right? So you're using this fucking information that you just Googled just before,
Hmm.
right? And then another thing that I like to do is I like to look at it based on area, right? So let's say top 10 list. No. Right? Imagine if while on the call, you're bringing up we're seeing that quite a few people that are moving in, their kids are in high school. So we've seen a lot of like desire to be around. And you mentioned this school, and this school, right? And then they're going to be like, how the fuck does this guy know all of this shit? Right?
Hmm.
You then, boom, yes. So neighborhood housing markets, right? Let's just look at this. Look, obviously we're seeing differences. What we've got some clients out in Oakhurst versus some other clients in Bridgeland. And obviously they specialize in those areas. And we're seeing quite a difference based on the listing price. So it makes me curious, what's the average listing price that you're working with? Which neighborhoods are you familiar with? Right? So
Okay.
if on the fucking call, I'm busting out neighborhoods, yeah,
Hmm.
schools, changes to the market, right? The trends, yes. Uh, Look at this, beautiful, right? I can see the data on how many homes were sold, right? I can see that there's been a price drop since ABCD, right? And the good thing is, when you're targeting one area, you're going to be in that area for quite a while, right? So you can reuse this data.
Hmm.
Let's go into trends, cool. Yeah, median house price. But even here, look, home price, single families, right? Townhouses. And all you have to fucking do is write it down on a piece of paper and mention it throughout the call.
Okay.
Now,
No, I can see how that'd be effective actually.
you know what? I'm glad that you can see how, thank you, right? But now, when you're busting out all these facts, at no point are they going to think that you don't know what the fuck you're talking about and you're not familiar with what the fuck you do,
Hmm.
right? Look, even where people are moving from, right? We're seeing a lot of the leads that have been closed from our clients. So obviously, they don't all close, but quite a few is people moving. We've had quite a people that were moving in from St. Louis, Washington, New York. We had a few from San Diego across all of our clients, right? So that's one good thing. So on and so forth, so on and so forth, so on and so forth. Yeah. And when it comes to sellers, we're seeing that people are leaving because of these three fucking places. Or just mention this place, which is the most. Like quite a few of the sellers we've noticed are moving to Sacramento, which we found quite interesting. And in their head, right, you bust enough of this knowledge, it's going to correlate with what they know or what they've heard.
Hmm.
Make sense?
Yeah, 100%. Makes me seem more reliable anyway.
It does way more than that, right? And then what you do is you make some look, the fucking sheet you had, you're going to be there 45 minutes asking them fucking questions, pissing them off,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely
All
fair.
the questions here allow you to know more about your prospect and close the deal.
Okay. I'm gonna save this.
Yeah, no, I'll give you this PDF.
Okay, no, that'll be better now. Much better.
Yes.
100%.
And look at how, like, one small piece of information, when implemented, how much of, like, imagine they're hopping onto calls with people like you without the guided assistance,
Yeah, who know fuck all.
right? Compare that, you still know fuck all. You've just pulled some fucking facts off the fucking internet and now you sound smart.
Yeah. So I'm just like, oh, what's your average listing price? I know that the average listing price in Houston is 300,000. So is that what you're
No,
dealing with?
no. I know that the average listing price is 300,000, but look, based on the clients that we've got some that focus more on this area, which has listing prices of boom, boom, boom. And then we've got others that focus in another area, which is more high end. And those clients we're looking at boom, boom, boom. So I'm interested to know what neighborhoods have you been like selling in and what prices are you going with?
Okay.
And
Oh,
let's
because that
talk
can
about,
kind of give them a complex as well, thinking, oh, I'm
there we
one of the
go.
lower end ones.
Yes. That here, you've told them how you have different clients, how you know different neighborhoods. And if you're fucking lucky, they're gonna mention a neighborhood that, oh yeah, I think like you have that information in front of you. But you can be like,
Hmm.
what was that? What was that? Yeah, you're looking about what, 350, 320 in that area, no? Yeah, I'm familiar with that area. All of
Hmm.
a sudden, how much more confidence do you give them?
Tons more. Yeah, that's classic. That's classic.
Right? But then you have to learn and you have to utilize this information to your fucking strength. And the more you drop, the better you fucking seem. And you want to drop it throughout the whole fucking call as often as you can, just different bits of information.
Okay.
Yes. By the end of it, you speak well, you hold your frame. And now, granted, we have to work on a lot of fucking things, right? Add the niche knowledge. They're gonna be like, take my fucking money because other people are clearly using you because you know way too much about fucking real estate.
Okay. Yeah. Like that. All right. I'll just try and I'm gonna edit them a bit and just like add little sprinkles of knowledge and shit just to
Yeah, but
make
no,
it a bit
but
more
I understand it has to be based on where you're targeting and who you're
100%.
speaking.
Yeah. I get with the way the calls are booked, I get 12 hours notice, so that gives me fucking plenty of time to get a bit of research with them.
Wonderful. No, honestly, I would do the research at 5 minutes before.
Okay. Sure.
Yeah. And you don't have to overstress. Like, the last thing you want is do a bunch of research and the prospect doesn't fucking show up, fucking wasting your time. Do it
Yeah,
fast,
fuck. Yeah.
right?
Fair enough.
So, and it's just dropping it. Now, I wouldn't sprinkle it in here. I would just have a fact sheet printed out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Place it
Yeah.
in a pot. Well, do you have more than one screen?
I do.
Slap it on a screen.
Yeah. See, what I usually do is I have the questions in front of me and then I have the person on the screen next to me. So I'm not actually looking at them. They're here, but I can still like makes it look
Yeah,
like
but
I'm making eye contact.
what computer do you have?
Just a piece. Oh, fuck, I built it. It's all junk piece. I put it together. It's a
I'm
Frankenstein.
pretty sure you can put them both on one screen, just split.
Oh yeah, yeah, you can do that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can have your okay, fine, fuck it. Keep them on the side. You can have your questions. That's on one side.
Mhm.
Random facts on another side.
Yeah, that'd be brilliant actually. 100%. 100%. Does it look bad now if I'm like making notes or looking down at a book during the qualifying question bit, or it looks less like a conversation then?
You can take some notes down, but do you need to take notes?
Just the commission bit. That's the only bit I would write down. It's just all
Yeah,
5% and work out their commission. That'll be it.
commission is like pretty. It's not always the same, but more often than not, it's the same with every agent.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. No, I appreciate this now, Ishmael. Oh, that's perfect.
What do you think happens on these calls that you like to not attend?
What do you mean?
Well, you think this is a special call? Like this is what you're meant to be getting into your fucking brain every day.
No, I know, I know. This is good stuff.
Yeah.
I'll be making time for it now. Don't you worry. Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad. I really appreciate it.
And I know you
Yeah.
worry so much that when I don't show up, I can
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
it in the
yeah,
universe.
Fucking showing up 10 minutes late to this fucking call. Bloody
Blame
hell.
Ernest. He was chatting away.
Yeah.
All right.
But then
Well,
here you have to learn these questions because you also, so the big thing here is you have to look at the question and
mhm.
think, why am I asking this? So I'll test you, right?
Yep.
Which lead generation sources have you utilized in the past? Why are we asking this?
To figure out if they have either used an agency before or if they are a bit savvy with Google, like Google Ads or Facebook ads.
Perfectly fine. Also to know if we're competing with anything. Also to know, are they lazy? Also to know, are they competent? Also to know, how long have they been doing this for? Also to know if they only use referrals, because then we have to handle the objection with referrals, which is they're going to be used to very high quality leads because they're fucking referrals and we're not sending them fucking referrals. So we have to address that point. On top of
Okay.
that, we have to see how they answer that question. On top of that, we have to see whether or not they are liars and exaggerating or if they're honest.
Okay.
All of that from one fucking question.
Ah, this is where the experience comes in, I can tell.
No, but it's not even experience, it's understanding. Why am I asking what I'm asking? And then you can fuck around with the order. You can skip questions, you can keep questions.
Okay. Okay. All right, that's perfect, Ishmael. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now, as much as I love to put more knowledge in your brain, study this,
Mhm.
see how you can apply it, and then we'll speak in your next session. Yeah.
Yep. I will see you tomorrow, so or
Yeah.
whenever. You have a good one. Thank you for this. Bye bye.